You like watching the fan spin? Hey. She's watching the ceiling fan, y'all. But good morning. Good morning. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley K. If you didn't know, there you go. Alright, y'all. You got it? Sorry, I am nursing her as we speak. Give me a minute. Alright, so let's try this again. Guys, if you already see my TikTok, you know what this video is basically about. I mean, if you've seen the title, you already know what it's about. But y'all, as I mentioned in my last video, was it my last video or my video before last? I was having issues with, I don't even know what it was. Her pediatrician didn't even like tell me exactly what it was. She just said it'll go away. In time, it'll go away. I wasn't having it, y'all. I was not having it. So I don't know if it was like baby acne, baby eczema. It looked like a mix of like a whole bunch of stuff. Like it looked like heat rash, baby acne, eczema. Like it looked terrible, and I hated it. Like I hated it. I hate it so much. Like I couldn't stand it. I didn't like looking at it. Like my child is still beautiful, don't get me wrong. It was just the fact of seeing that I didn't look like how I looked on her face, okay? Because my face doesn't look like that, so hers shouldn't look like that at all. And I know, you know, they say it's because of the leftover hormones and all of this, that, and the third. But y'all, I wasn't waiting till no 4, 5, 6 months for it to go away. No, we wasn't we wasn't doing it. And I looked up so many home remedies, how to get rid of it. Like I looked up so much on how to get rid of baby acne. None of it worked. Okay, the doctor told me, okay, I'm just gonna be out back. So look, I just jumped right in. That's the first time I've ever done this. That's the first time I've ever jumped right into the video. First I just talked so much then, but anyways, there I go. There I go. Let me go ahead and say, if you are new, go ahead, subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any videos. You know, I have my newborn here. She's almost an infant now, but she is 8 weeks. She will be 2 months on Tuesday. Yeah, I'm trying to nurse her, but she's just not having it right now. I don't know if it's because you're full or you just, I don't know, y'all. I'm trying to do this, you know, at the same time. I'm all over the place. It's like, what, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, let me get this video out. Like, let me get this video out. So, yeah. Backstory. In the beginning, I would say her second week home, she started getting, like, little bumps on her eyelids. And, you know, I didn't think nothing of it. I just left it alone. And then it's like, it started getting worse, like, on her eyelids. It all started on her eyelids. So it started getting worse, and it turned into like, how can I explain it? Like it was just a cluster of bumps, like blisters of bumps. And I'm like, oh no, like what is going on? And I'm thinking she allergic to something. Like I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. Then it accumulated to her forehead. And once it got to her forehead, it wasn't like really the cluster, the blisters, I should say. It wasn't like that. It was like pimples. Like they were just everywhere on her forehead. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on. Me, as I mentioned, y'all, I need to stay off Google. But I get on Google and I Google everything. And, you know, I go to WebMD, MD, whatever it's called. And they be telling you, like, it's normal. It'll pass, this, then the third. And then sometimes it's like, she may be allergic, because I am breastfeeding, and they're like, she may be allergic to something you're eating. So I'm like, is it my fault that my baby is breaking out? She have an allergic reaction? Like, what is it? What exactly is it? So time goes by. I read that breast milk was good for it. I put breast milk on her eyelids for like 2 days. Dried it out. I would say the next day it was gone. What? Sorry, y'all. I put the breast milk on her eyelids when I started noticing that it was getting worse. And the breast milk worked. We're going to get into that. The breast milk worked for her eyelids. So, yeah, we're going to get into that. For the rest of her face, it wasn't going away. The acne was not going away as far as what my doctor told me to do. Because what her doctor, her pediatrician told me to do. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get y'all like backstory, how it started, how it got worse, you know, all that. And I'm tired, so hopefully she falls asleep. Once I went to her pediatrician and I basically told them like, her face is like getting worse. She's breaking out. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's heat rash, baby acne, like I don't know. And so first thing doctor says is change your bath wash that you're using for her. And I'm like, so you think she's allergic or sensitive skin, whatever the case may be? Because I'm thinking if it's her bath wash or anything, wouldn't it be all over her body? Why is it just on her face? That was my logic of it. I'm just like, if it was the bath wash that I'm using, wouldn't it be breaking out her whole body? If it was the detergent I'm using, because she told me to change the detergent too, and I'm like, wouldn't it be breaking out her entire body? I don't know. Pediatrician, they're supposed to be, you know, educated and know what they're talking about. So I'm like, okay, let me change those 2 items that I'm using, because I was using the Vino shampoo and wash, and I was using the Drift detergent. As first time moms, that's what they tell you. Pediatrician recommended, best for babies, for newborns, da 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 da. You see all of that when you're buying stuff. So I got it. Come to find out, do your research. I should have done my research in the beginning. But did my research, come to find out, Drift is a little too harsh on babies because it does have fragrance and dyes in it. So I did get rid of that. I feel like the Vino wasn't too bad, but I got rid of that and I opted in for Aquifer. Now, don't get me wrong, Aquifer isn't bad. I've been using that on her since doctor told me to change the Vino to Aquifer. It's not bad at all. But I feel like it does other things that I don't really like dries out her scalp. So I need, y'all, bear with me, okay? Bear with me. So I was using Aquifer, but I feel like it dries out her scalp. I still use it now because I have coconut oil. So after I give her a bath, wash her hair, I just grease her or her scalp real good with the coconut oil, and it's fine. But I feel like I shouldn't have to do that. So now I'm trying to find a shampoo that'll work for her hair that's not going to leave her dry, because the Aquifer really dries out her scalp. So if you have any good shampoos for, how can I put it? You know, I don't really care if it's not even for African American hair, because I use other things that still work. So, yeah, if you have that, go ahead, drop it down below. But back to what I was saying. What was I saying? It's too early in the morning for this, and I'm running off of like 2 hours of sleep. So I was using Aquifer. I'm still using Aquifer. Sorry, baby. I'm still using Aquifer, the shampoo. I'm not using the ointment, because the ointment, that was one thing that was actually, I feel like the ointment, the Aquifer ointment, was making things worse. And I say that because after I would give her a bath, everything, dry her off, put the Aquifer on, she would turn extremely red. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, so I stopped using that, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not going to use any ointments, none of that. We gonna figure out how to do this a natural way, because obviously my child has very sensitive skin like myself. tell you about me, I don't use anything on my skin but Vaseline. My skin does not react with scents and fragrance. My skin doesn't do, I can't do it. I will break out immediately. Like, yeah. So I feel she gets that from me because I'm just too sensitive. I've always been like that. I can't use anything on my face. No lotion on my face, just Vaseline. On my skin, I could probably use a fragrance-free oil, but other than that, lotion breaks me out. I can't do it. So, get to the point, y'all. So, I started looking up, you know, letting y'all already know, I already knew about breast milk, but in the beginning when I used it for her eyelids, I wasn't even thinking like, let me use it on her entire face. And I didn't have like a daily routine with the breast milk. I would probably just be breastfeeding her. I'm like, oh, let me put some on her eyelids since I have her right here in front of me. But this time around, I actually had a routine of how I used my breast milk to clean her face. So there you have it. That's how I cleared her face. I used breast milk. And I'm going to break it down to you how I did it. So I would do it twice a day. Okay? And if you don't have breast milk, get Mustela cleansing water. It's on Amazon. It's a little pricey, but I mean, it works. You'll just have to get you an oil to use after you've used the cleansing water, because basically what it does is it cleans the entire face, like cleanse the entire baby's face, and then it dries it out. So then you'll have to moisturize it with some type of oil of your choice. Yeah, we'll get into that. I started using breast milk because everything else I was doing was not working. I would try to just, you know, leave it alone, not even mess with it. But her face was like literally peeling, y'all. Like, her face was peeling. If I would just leave it alone, not put nothing on it, wash her face like twice a day, in the morning and night, and it was just peeling, and I did not like it. And she didn't like really scratch it. It wasn't like irritating her or anything, but I just didn't like I just didn't like seeing it, okay? Just the sight of it just drive me nuts. The breast milk. Y'all, I don't stash breast milk. Okay, so it wasn't like I'm using breast milk from 2 days ago, from a week ago. It was fresh breast milk. Like, literally, I would sit here, take a not a toothpick, take a Q-tip or a cotton swab. That's what it is, a cotton swab. Take one, put it on there, you know, massage my breast, compress my breast, and get the milk out and put it all over her face. But first, I would actually clean her face. So step one is to clean the baby's face. And clean it with not a warm cloth, but a cool cloth. Make sure it's more cool than it is warm, if that makes sense. So I don't want to say cold, but you get what I'm saying, okay? Cool instead of warm. Because if you put a warm, you got to think about it. You put a warm cloth on her face, it's basically hot. She's already probably hot. And my baby, I had to realize it was hot in here too. Like, I had to adjust temperature and everything. But yeah, a cool cloth. Wipe her face off twice a day. Sometimes I would do more because she spits up, and y'all, I'm just OCD when it comes to her. I change her every time she does a little spit up. I change her diaper like every time she does a little pee. Like, y'all, OCD with her. So yeah, I basically would cleanse her face first thing in the morning. Say we get up first thing in the morning, cleanse her face with a warm cloth, starting with the eyes, both the eyes, the forehead, go down. You know, you get the gist of it. After that, let it dry a little bit. I would nurse her. On the other side, I'm squeezing fresh. And listen, I sound like listen. I would squeeze fresh breast milk from my breast and literally put it on her face while she's laying here nursing. Let it dry. Let it sit on there all day. Don't do nothing to it. Don't do anything to it at all. Just let it dry. Sit on there. And I did this for like the first 2-3 days. And that's when I noticed it was going away. So cleanse the face. Put breast milk. If you don't have breast milk, just use Mustela's cleansing water. and you just do the same exact thing with the Mustela cleansing water. What you do with the Mustela cleansing water is, when I say cleanse your baby's face with the cool water, that would be you cleansing her face. So do that twice a day. Take the Mustela water, clean her face off. Don't do nothing with it. Don't put nothing else on her face. Cleanse it off twice a day. And I would say do that for the first 3 days. First 3 days. So the first 3 days, that's what I was doing. So if you're not using breast milk, you're just cleansing her face with the Mustela water, going about your day. Don't touch it no more. With the breast milk, you know, if you are breastfeeding, or if you know you're about to have a baby and you have this issue, you can stash the milk. But me, I don't pump. I don't do none of that. I exclusively breastfeed. I do not pump. That is not for me. I salute those women that do pump, but pumping is not for me. I tried it and I sent that pump straight back because I can't. I would rather nurse her. So, like I said, I pump fresh breast milk, put it on her face, let it sit, don't touch it. The next morning when I wake up, so this is what, step 3, when you've gone to sleep and you wake up, I then wipe it off with a cool cloth, apply it again. And literally those first 3 days, the first 2 days, I had already noticed that the bumps were like going away, because basically it dries out the bumps, or the acne, eczema, whatever is on the face, it dries it out. So I could see it disappearing, but I still seen like the redness, and her face was drying. So now I'm like, okay, she's still a little red. She's still a little red, and now she's drying out. I mean, she already had dry skin, but putting the breast milk and letting it sit made it even more drier. So now I'm like, okay, what oil am I going to use on her face? What moisturizer am I going to use on her face? And so I had watched a video and someone mentioned, I forgot the name of it. It's called California Canel. I don't know what it is, but it was some expensive organic oil, and I was about to buy it, child. I was on the verge of buying. Yeah, I was on Amazon buying almost everything that could possibly work, and I didn't even need none of that. Everything I needed was here at the house, so I had it myself. So I was on there, and it was like, that stuff was like $20-$30, and I was gonna get it because I watched a video on YouTube, and the lady basically was like,
this is like magic, it did this for my baby, it did that for my baby.
I'm like, well, I need that for my baby because we're going through it right now with this dryness. But something was just like, no, we're not gonna do that. At this point I had to think of myself. I'm like, what do you do to your face when your face is dry, and what's safe for your face, for your skin? Vaseline works magic. Okay, that's my magic. That's my that's my quick fix, or whatever you want to call it. So after those 3 days, I started applying Vaseline to her face. Okay, and y'all, I cleared her face up in a week. Okay, it didn't take months, as the doctor would say, and I wasn't waiting months. Like, no ma'am. But but yeah. So after those 3 days, I started using Vaseline, and after the 3 days, the bumps was literally like gone. She would just be red and dry. So I stopped putting the breast milk on after 3 days. I'm like, okay, I think we've had enough of that. We've got what I wanted after way. Now we got to work on the redness and the dryness. So I started applying Vaseline because that's what I do to my face. As you see, I look very refreshed, very glowy, as she does right now, because I apply Vaseline to her face. Her entire face, she looks like a glazed donut when I'm done with her. So yeah, 3 days, breast milk. After that, you can keep going with the breast milk, but you can't put the oil on until, or the moisturizer on, until you're done using that breast milk, because that just defeats the purpose. You're gonna put the breast milk on, or unless you're gonna like put the breast milk on in the morning, you know, whatever works for you. If you're gonna put the breast milk on in the morning, let her sit with it all day, clean it off, and put the moisturizer on at night, that'll work. But I feel what worked for me, and you know, executed what I needed quicker, was putting the breast milk on twice a day, waiting those 3 days, letting that go away, and then start adding the Vaseline. And then as far as the redness, y'all, come to find out, she was just like extremely hot. Like, you know, I don't have it hot in my house, but I didn't have it as cold as I have it right now. Like right now, we have on 2 fans and the AC, so it's a little chilly in here, but you got to understand that's what they're comfortable in. Like, they're comfortable in this cold. It seems cold to us, but it's recommended that you keep newborns in the temperature between 68 and 72 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and I had it like 75 degrees in here because that's just what I'm used to. I'm used to my AC coming on and off. I don't use this ceiling fan. I do now because she is here. And now it stays like 71 degrees in here. And it's cold, don't get me wrong, but it's comfortable too. Okay? She sleeps like a baby, literally. She sleeps like a baby. She's not red. Color is amazing at this point. So that was the redness issue. It was because she was hot. So you want to check and see if your baby like is really red, as you see my baby, and I'll put the pictures in here. As you see, her face was like super red. Make sure she's not hot. Okay, make sure she's not extremely, but she wasn't extremely like hot. She was just not cool, okay? And that's why I used the cool cloth, okay? You get me? You follow me? That's why I was using the cool cloth, because why would I use a hot cloth on her? Well, a warm cloth, as they tell you to do, warm cloth, when she's already like hot and uncomfortable. Okay, exactly. So cool cloth. Made sure the temperature was to her liking, to satisfy her and keep her comfortable. And then I started using the Vaseline, and y'all, her face looks absolutely amazing. Like, it looks just like it did when she first got here. Okay, she's soft as a baby's bottom now, and I haven't seen any of them appear. I did this like what, like 2-3 weeks ago. It was probably longer than that. No, it was probably like 2-3 weeks ago when I started, and it's been gone since then. Haven't come back, not having an issue with any breakout. She's not breaking out at all. Like, and all I do is when I wake up in the morning, we wake up, clean her face with that cool cloth, put her Vaseline on, and we go about our day. Of course, the Vaseline doesn't stay on all day because she's nursing, laying on this side, laying on that side. She's touching her face. She's just all over the place. So, of course, it doesn't last all day, but it keeps her moisturized as much as she needs it. At night, before she sleeps, I do the same thing. Wipe her off with the cool cloth, put the Vaseline on. And that's all I'm doing at this point to maintain it, to make sure it doesn't come back. Just making sure I keep her moisturized. But I know if push comes to shove, if it ever comes back, I have the breast milk on hand. I have the breast milk on hand, y'all. So yeah, breast milk, Vaseline, and a cool temperature save my baby's skin. Literally, that's all it took. And like I mentioned, if you don't have the breast milk, use Mustela cleansing water. Or you know somebody with some breast milk, get their breast milk. Whatever the case may be, get some breast milk or Mustela water, Vaseline, and make sure your house is cold. I'm not saying cool, cold, because y'all, it be cold in here, okay? Cold as hell. So, so yeah, y'all, that's basically what I did, okay? It wasn't an overnight thing. It did take a week. I know I've seen videos and people are like, how I cleared my baby's acne in one day. And I'm like, really? Really? Come on. It took me a week. Me being transparent with you and honest. It took me a week. First 3 days, breast milk to dry it out. From there on out, just use the Vaseline. And we all know Vaseline works wonders. So, get you some Vaseline. You don't need that expensive California, whatever that was. Or you don't need all the expensive stuff. Go get you a $6 jar of Vaseline. That's like huge. $6 jar, baby Vaseline. Put it on your baby's face twice a day. And she's totally fine. So yeah, that's what I did, y'all. It was nothing outstanding, you know. It wasn't anything crazy. That's literally all I did. And now her face looks absolutely, her skin period looks absolutely amazing. I will continue to use Vaseline. As she gets older, will I use scented or anything that's scented? Probably not, because I know my issue with fragrances and stuff like that. I probably won't use it on her. Of course, I want her to smell good, so I'll use probably something that's mild, but who knows? Who knows what I'll do, y'all. That's what I did. Thank you guys so much for watching. As y'all could tell in this video, my energy is like, because I am so tired, y'all. My baby has her days and nights reversed, and it's a struggle. It is a struggle having a newborn who has everything reversed, because she sleeps all day, and then at night when I want to sleep, she's up because she thinks it's time to be up now, when no, the time to be up, you have slept away. So I am extremely tired. She is sleepy at this point right now as we speak. I have nothing to do. It is Sunday, so I am about to sleep with her. So what I'm about to do is get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As I mentioned, if you are new, go ahead, subscribe, and thumbs up the video so you don't miss any more videos regarding my baby girl, my journey of being a first-time mom, or any lock videos if you're here for the lock videos, because I do have a big surprise coming for y'all that, you know, love my lock videos, so stay tuned. Didn't want to make this too long, but it looks like we're about to hit 30 minutes. Who cares? I'm about to get out of here, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you follow me on my TikTok, because I'll post little snippets of, you know, what I got going on with her, any updates, new mommy things I'm using for her, baby items, you know, all the gist of that will be on my TikTok. So make sure you're following my TikTok. I love you guys so very much. Thumbs up the video. Okay, thumbs up the video. I'll see you guys in my next video.